my husband cheating, and my revenge. I met my now ex-husband at 16.5 years old. He was 27. We eloped on our 1-year dating anniversary. No, he didn't come to my HS graduation, as he was afraid my family would beat the shit out of him. I was immediately pregnant at 18 years old. He told me, as I was 9 mo's preg, I had 6 months to lose the weight after the baby was born. Prior to being preg, he was abusive towards me, and we would physically fight often. My home life was no different prior to meeting him. I had the baby in spring, and noticed he was never around. I'd have to walk over 3 miles to the store as he would never buy supplies or diapers, etc. We would still brawl physically here, and there as well. When the baby was 1.5 years old, I noticed over 6 more time he was coming home later and acting different. I went through all his work things and found a number he was always talking to, and I found out her home address as well. She had been to my house a few times, also he lying as to who she was. My father got remarried, and I went alone to the wedding, my husband not wanting to go. I went, came home to my husband crying endlessly, laying on the couch. I changed and went downstairs, and he looks at me and says, "Do Yoj promise you'll never leave me?" Me, already knowing what was coming next, said, "Of course I promise. Let's go upstairs to talk." As we're laying in bed, he says, "I cheated on you." I said, "With who?" He says, "It doesn't matter." I insisted it did, and he told me. I then proceeded to jump on top of him and start throwing punches. He ran out of the room to get away, while I was in hot pursuit, raging at 19 years old with insane anger. I opened the windows and threw all his clothes out the second-story windows. He stood at the top of the steps while he told me it had been going on for 6 months. I demanded his wedding band, which he handed me, then I shoved him as hard as I could, my standing at the top of the steps while he tumbled all the way down. I raced down the steps as he tried to get himself standing. He on all fours, I kicked him in the balls, so hard they should have become his tonsils. He raced out the front door, running up the street, bent over holding his nuts. I then went to her house. I already got all the info in my digging for answers prior. Knocked on her door at 2 a.m. Her fiancé answered, and I said, "Can you tell XX she can have my husband since she's been f***ing him for 6 months. Here is his ring." I then left and went to my mother's, a hysterical mess. He begged for 3 weeks for me to return. I refused and filed for divorce by 20 yo. He and she broke up, of course, and instead he knocked up her sister and had a baby W her. He tried filing attempted murder charges on me at the police station, which the cops laughed at him, telling him it was a civil matter. The end.